Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another reaction. This one is interesting. Red Dead Redemption 2. I've never played it. It was never really something that I ever got into, but I have watched a few people play it, and I think Markiplier played it all the way through, and I watched all of his. So I'm aware of the game, but I wasn't really paying attention to the music and any of that, so it's possible I might recognize at least parts of this song, but I haven't actually heard the soundtrack in any real way. I haven't felt it myself. So this is still very much going to be its own standalone reaction that I will have opinions on, and I'll be able to hear what it sounds like, etc. But this was requested by a very fitting name, Outlaw Justice, in my Patreon producer queue, and that's pretty much all I got to go on this one. I know what game it's from, I kind of know the vibe, obviously, but other than that, I'm not sure what this is going to sound like, so I guess without further ado, let's go! God, really letting that guitar resonate, aren't they? Ooh. I don't know why I didn't expect it to be so filtered, but it kind of makes sense. Love that they're treating that one note on the guitar as like a drone for the whole song. That's a neat application of that in lieu of having like an orchestra. I feel like this is going to be a 6-minute long guitar solo. But I kind of love that when they let the guitar talk, you know? Also worth noting that drone is starting and ending over here. It just floats really smoothly. I'm trying to like pick out the bass guitar in here. I don't know if there even is one. No, it's in there. It's just all tone, no attack. There's just so much like harsh attack on the guitars that the bass is just there for subtlety. Taking up a lot of room in there. Drums are really stripped down, but the tribal rhythm makes a sense here. I wasn't wrong about it just being a solo, though. trying to focus in on every instrument as much as I can. Ooh. Back with the horns. God. That guitar, that drone is just, it's taking over everything else. It's like it's demanding respect on top of all the other instruments. You'd figure the lead would be the solo, but that one chord is begging to differ. I think the harmony choice for the horns, it's kind of an interesting thing too, but again, makes sense thematically with where they are. All right, I did not know what song that was going to be, what to expect out of it, but yeah, that's American Western right there. It's what that is. So I don't really have too much to add to this because I've already said what I was basically thinking during the reaction, as I usually do, but there's not too much to break down in the post either. But what I will say is that this is kind of an interesting tone because it gives me the feeling that this is a lonely song. I think that one solid drone on that guitar chord is supposed to signify like the solo experience of this game and to make you feel a little bit more lonely. The fact that it was kind of standing on top of everything else, like I mentioned, and it just felt so isolated up there on top of everything. You would really assume that it would be blending in with everything else and be a more supportive role underneath in the mix, but that was the exact opposite. It was the star that entire time. It was right up there, constantly existing and reminding you what it feels like to be alone. And as a result, I'm pretty sure this song had to have been played during one of those moments where you're like making your final stand or something. I don't really remember any of this song existing. It's been obviously years since I watched any of that gameplay or anything about it, so I have no recollection of when this would have played, but maybe at the end I could see this kind of being there with like that mountain scene. I remember the scene, I just don't remember the music in it. I remember what happens, not the theming underneath, you know? So I could see that definitely being the case. That would totally sound right for this vibe. Just that whole solo feeling of just like, here's your final stand, here's what's going to happen, and this is the sound that's going to basically take you out of the game. It's very thematically heavy in that way, where it just makes you want to feel like you're the only thing left, and you want to fight for that because you know that you're right. There's just something about that that feels so good, and this song really does that well. And having that guitar solo in there instead of a straight up vocalist makes a lot more sense to give more room for like dialogue to happen. So again, that would kind of fit with that final scene where it's very dialogue and tone heavy, and you want to make sure that that sells, so you don't want to have a bunch of other vocals happening underneath very important story-based dialogue. So it's cementing further that that's probably when this song played, but still really neat. An interesting mix as well. It sounds very old, like they mixed it like it was a song way ago. Not too old, like not going into Edison's phonograph or anything, not that old, but old enough to feel dated and feel a little bit nostalgic to people who are used to hearing older country music, older Western style music. And also having the horns in there, like I mentioned, they had an interesting choice of their harmony, kind of going for more of like a Latin American feel in their harmonies, and that works really well. Again, that lower southern end, it had a lot of that inspiration because that's where people got those instruments and the inspiration to play them that way. They had this cultural split in the old Wild West, so like that totally tracks. It also adds to that triumphant energy that they're probably going for, because that's what a lot of their music sounded like. It was what they were trying to do with it. It was a lot more proud and exalting than the stuff that we were kind of used to hearing in Europe, which was a lot more praise, but definitely kind of watered down by Catholicism and the influence that they had on the music scene there. It was just a different tone. So hearing this like proud, very boisterous, but also sharp and cutting trumpet sound, as well as the other brass in there, it just felt so good. There's just something about it that makes the brain go ooh ooga, you know, like it's just something in the testosterone in man that makes you go hell yeah when you hear that sound. And obviously I think a lot of that has to do with how like Hollywood has changed what we perceive as the Wild West, and how they've changed things and kind of shaped our own opinions and memories about how they present it. And therefore you get sounds like this that are utilized in other properties, other styles and media, and you get something like this that just sounds kind of perfectly Wild West. So this is really nice. I like how they approach this. I like all the things they did to it. I like that they kept it simple and really stripped down. The bass being so subtle was actually a really nice touch, because there wouldn't have been a lot of attack on bass in the older style of recording. So that's a cool feature as well. Just a bunch of stuff that just make this song kind of the perfect storm of a Wild West theme, and I really like this one a lot for that. But I did say I wasn't going to yap too much, and I ended up yapping quite a bit, so I'm sorry about that. But if you have something else you want me to get to, leave it in the comments below and I will do my best as always. And thank you to Outlaw Justice for putting this into the queue in the first place. If anybody else wants to guarantee a request out of me, you can go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships, where you can guarantee one out of me. I don't care how good it is, how bad it is, how awesome it is, how trash it is. It can be anything. That's why it's a guaranteed request. But otherwise, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!